RRQ lost 2 weeks in a row, and I cannot find Xinn. Did they kidnap him? Did he... Yo guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to another Dave Talk. So lately, a lot of people have been pinging me saying, Dave, did you know RRQ is losing? And I checked all the MPL Indonesia vaults. It seems like they have lost for about 2 weeks in a row. I actually predicted, at least I thought, that they're going to take a straight win in this entire MPL because their first week performance was just on point, and obviously it was way out of the league of all the other teams that I saw from MPL in general. Now, looking at all the matches that happened recently, I gotta say I'm gonna take my word back. The reason why for that is not saying like RRQ has just became bad. If you notice, they have actually changed their roster for the past 2 weeks. Where the hell is Xinn, their main hyper carry? It seems like, is he eliminated? Is he like kidnapped by somebody? What the hell's going on? It seems like they're trying different players. I know all those players, Liam, all those people. Their name seems familiar. They're just not the main roster that I was familiar with. And maybe RRQ thought that they have an easy ride in this MPL. They want to test their subs. They want to give them a chance, give everybody a chance to join, to win. The recommendation I have for Coach James is like, usually in big professional league, they don't do that. Unless this player drastically underperforms. Like if that's the case, right? If Xinn is underperforming from first week, from week 1, Xinn was doing fine. There's no reason to swap out somebody, just give other person a chance. Usually in professional competition, how it works is, if this player is doing well and the team's winning, you don't change what's winning. You never, right? That's why it's so important for a coach to take charge. Like basically, if you don't train, if I tell you to train a hero to get really good at it, to get all the ins and out of the hero figured out, and if you don't do it, I'm just gonna have to bench you. And the chances are, if I bench you and the new team I formed is winning, the chance of you coming back to the scene is very minimum. And a lot of time, those players get replaced. And that's a fact. That's a sad fact for professional esports, for professional competition. But that's true for everything, because the team's goal, the primary goal, is not to give everybody a chance. Okay, this is not a charity. The primary goal of any esports is to win a freaking tournament. And so far, the new roster I'm seeing, they're just, it doesn't seem like they're doing anything wrong drastically. It doesn't seem like they're making 1,000 mistakes. No. It's just they're not winning. A lot of times it's synergy. A lot of times it's like do they like each other, right? Do they like to play their best? Are they in a lot of synergy? A lot of reason go into that. And a lot of times it's just, something more non-scientific. You can't explain it. A lot of players just play really well when they're around a group of people that they really like. But again, guys, I want to emphasize that I don't know why Xinn is not playing. Maybe he has some personal reasons why that's why they have to get like subs. But obviously, they're at the same time, there are a lot of other roles being subbed out too. Like the only proper explanation that I have is just the coaches really want to give all the subs a chance. Maybe have been benched for way too long, and they're asking, hey, can I get a chance to show off? Can I get a chance to play? Or maybe the main roster just have some issues they have to take care of at home. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because COVID. I can't think about any reasonable excuses you would give to switch out a winning roster that has won the championship and is winning the week 1, dominating week 1, and all of a sudden just like, okay, let's take that out, right? Bye-bye, guys. So without further ado, let's quickly jump into week 2 when they first lost to Bigatron. How they actually lost to a team that not really a lot of people pay attention to. So let's take a look at those matches and see what happened. For the rest of the matches, we're gonna slowly but surely take a look at all of them in the future. But today, let's just focus on week 2 between RRQ and Bigatron. We're gonna start by looking at the first game ban pick. I think RRQ actually picked alright. They have a Roger 1-1, right? Side lane, you have Esmeralda and Uranus. Pretty strong side lane. They can hold their own. Mid lane, they have Selena, Popo and Koopa, and Roger. Those are really strong as well, so they can hold their own. So their rotation, I think they won their opponent. I do want to say though, I'm never a big fan of Popo Koopa as the main support, but if you have tanky side lanes like Esmeralda and Uranus, it's okay to have 2 support, especially if you have Selena and Popo and Koopa. You're gonna have a lot of vision. Right off the bat, the Bigatron Chow actually start feeding the first blood. Now, I do want to say, if you watch towards the end of the game, Dream S is definitely the MVP of the entire day for Team Bigatron. He has made so many plays. Now, starting off the game though, because you want to make those plays, end up suiciding and giving RRQ the first blood. But then RRQ support, aka LJ, starts suiciding. He actually stepped out of his position multiple times this entire game, suiciding over and over again and giving Bigatron an unfair advantage that they should not have. You know, you already have Bigatron feeding the first blood to RRQ, but, you know, just to make the game fair, I suppose, LJ decided to go with the thought of compassion and just end up feeding and always stay in a wrong position at a wrong time and getting caught off. But to be honest, I wouldn't blame LJ for getting caught off a lot of times, because as a tank, one primary role is to get vision of opponent team. So LJ was simply doing what he usually did, which is getting vision of opponent team, but unfortunately, this time you're playing Popo and Koopa, and it's a squishy marksman role, right? If you get caught, you're dead 100% of the time. So I don't even know why you're trying to get vision. As I mentioned, if you want to get vision with Popo and Koopa, you have to step in a melee range almost, and then throw a trap in there, right? It's really short cast range. It's not one of the best, you know, secure vision. That's why you want to get a strong front line who walked in the vision, walked in the jungle without worry about dying all the time. That's not what happened with LJ. He died over and over again this game, and giving BTR a lot of advantage over objectives. But thanks to a lot of mistakes that BTR made in the mid game, RRQ was able to take those advantages, take those mistakes, and really capitalize on them and turn them into huge advantages. I think at a certain point, RRQ was 10,000 gold ahead. They have the Lord, they have the kill, they have the number advantage, and they were pushing onto the high ground tower of BTR. It seemed like a landslide again, where RRQ can make mistakes, but the king of the region will have to rule it all at the end of the day. But that's not the case. When the second Lord comes up, you can see that RRQ support Win actually was getting vision at a place that totally was uncalled for. They have traps all around the map, red traps from Popo and Koopa, from Selena, all around the map, but he decided to hide at a bush where his entire team were just not there. Right? Everybody was doing their own thing, and Roger was getting ready to do the Lord, and this Selena ended up feeding herself. And Esmeralda was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna feed myself also. I wanna go ahead and 1 versus 4. I'm gonna ignore the Chow. I'm not even gonna take Purify. Who cares? Enemy team had Purify of Loi. I'm Esmeralda. I'm good. I'm gonna take Flicker. With silent fighter, usually take Flicker, that's fine. But when you go against a lot of CCs, especially single target CCs, including Chow, and the big AoE crowd control like Loi and Gatal, that's quite a bit of crowd control. And for the fact that you don't take Flicker, I mean Purify, is that a disrespect for your opponent? I mean, I don't understand that, but it's okay. Let's just say that she get caught. And right after LJ come back alive, he decided to go top lane to help Uranus. A lane that you do not want to send anyone to go help, you know, especially late game, right? Uranus is supposed to handle his own business, and then Chow just find a perfect position to flank, and LJ end up feeding again. Like, if this Popo and Koopa did not go help, I mean, I think Uranus R7 will end up getting away pretty easily. And then right after that, in order to help Obis King on the Roger to get the Lord, Esmeralda went ahead and killed herself, which I do not think is necessary either, right? A lot of stuff that they did, it seems like everybody has their own plan. And the way how the team performed is just very uncharacteristic comparing to a very united, like single goal-driven, objective-driven RRQ that we've seen in week 1. And obviously that lore was wasted. Right after that, when everyone was up, RRQ Esmeralda without Purify decided to jump onto the Chow once again, get kicked, get CC'd, and died instantly, and the entire RRQ just get disintegrated by their opposition. I mean, I think Dreams and then their support from Bigatron, Rainbow actually did a really good job. The teleportation that Loi did the entire game was on point. Maybe I didn't pay attention to the support from Bigatron, but this is definitely a team that you want to watch out for because they got some really good support players. Now, when we talk about Chow support, I'm not a big fan of. But on top of it, you have to understand their opposition, RRQ, did not pick a traditional tank either, right? He had a Popo and Koopa, which is a lot worse, in my opinion, compared to Chow. At least Chow can check vision and have a lot of mobility to get away. But when we talk about a Popo and Koopa, he just get eliminated. So with that being said, that's going to be an easy win for Bigatron in the first game. And when the second game comes around, this is when the Ben pick really drove me crazy. Like, I literally did not know what RRQ was trying to accomplish with the Ben pick that they did. I understand Selena pick, but Ling pick too early on in the meta were heavily prioritized really strong early game mid lane heroes like Roger, like Xinn. You pick a Ling that requires a lot of farm. Obviously, combos with Selena super well. We talk about how those two are golden combos. Selena can help Ling farm to get to the really good power spike that he needs to hit. But then you're giving your opponent Uranus. While with Khalid, Yuzhong, all those heroes banned, and you don't ban Uranus, you just give Uranus for free. This is like the tier S silent right now. No other hero even come close. Why ban Esmeralda? This ban is something that I just do not comprehend. There's so many heroes in the game that can easily counter Esmeralda, like so many. Valir, Kaja, and we all know Kaja's been buffed on the silent. If you haven't tried it, Kaja was already played as a silent before. Like, it was possible because Kaja, if you build full mage, actually can burst, like any squishy in one combo. Skill 1 and ultimate passive, this person dead, right? Especially going against Esmeralda. Or you can just pick Lunox, which they did, then just make me more confused on why the Esmeralda ban, right? And giving Uranus to the opponent. And after they take Uranus, they take Xinn. And in game 2, the behavior of RRQ players are even weirder. Like I said, I think the roster change really tilted this team. I feel like they're not playing like a team anymore. Everybody doing their own thing. LJ getting caught and then Gatal going in, wasting his ultimate. It's a lot of stuff. It just don't make any sense to me. Now, I can only contribute all this kind of weird behavior all of a sudden in game 2 to the sudden roster change. But no, we don't have enough evidence to know why they had a roster change. All we know is they did. I won't bore you with a little back and forth team fights in the game. What I want to talk about in this game, what I want to highlight, is a crucial team fight on the bottom side. RRQ made a huge mistake, and then they had a 2-man invade onto the enemy red buff. And Bigatron, I don't know what is happening to this team, but they're just playing like a team. And not only that, they're playing with some god tier communication. Like Dream S, he waited for his entire team to come in. This initiation cannot be more textbook, right? He engaged when his team was ready, and then a beautiful 2-man ult. Their entire team just collapsed on the 2-person that he ulted and instantly won the team fight, and then got a Lord afterward. I mean, I've said this over and over again. Not a single hero can be said like absolutely OP. Not Yuzhong, not Ling, not anybody. You can see with Ling being picked to try to steal the Lord, and Chao just beautifully kicked him away from the wall. And then RRQ Wiz King, which I really don't know this kid, just got eliminated, you know? He didn't get the Lord and he died. At this point in the game, they went from BTR, went from a huge gold deficit to a huge gold plus. Right? They turned around the entire game and just snowball with it. And after multiple consecutive loss on like objective sequence team fights, I think RRQ just lost it morally, you know? People going in one by one, Kufa jumping in and Lunox jumping in afterwards, like after Kufa already died and Ling followed up, ended up killing himself as well, just 3-for-0 trade. BTR took this advantage and just got a lot of resources on the map, and the game just become a landslide at that point. Overall, dude, I don't know what is happening to RRQ. Personally, I attribute a lot of those losses. Again, RRQ has been losing for 2 weeks consecutively, multiple games in a row, to all the team that they used to win against. And now they're just losing over and over again. I think all this game that they lost to are because the roster changes. Maybe the coaches, maybe the orgs want to do something different. Maybe they want to give the subs a chance to show off. Maybe they want to just, you know, not give too much ego to the dominant, you know, active players of starting roster. I don't know. A lot of reasons can contribute towards the decision. I don't think it's working out. I recommend them change it back as soon as possible and figure out what's going on and start playing like a team again. But with that, guys, what do you guys think of why RRQ lost? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. And Assassin Dave signing off. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you.